Happy Halloween, everyone. I gotta put my gloves on. This is gonna be hard. This is gonna be a hard podcast.
Yeah, you're not gonna be able to press any buttons.
Welcome, Tennessee USA Wrestling listeners.
I know.
We got a
If you guys
great
are
podcast.
watching on Halloween, you're so dedicated to our podcast.
I know.
Dedicated fans.
You know, I normally don't get dressed up for Halloween, honestly. I
Too cool for that.
did Halloween. I don't remember. Shoot, it might be been a while. Yeah, I don't know.
You're too cool for Halloween.
No, I don't know. Always had stuff going on.
Yeah.
I guess. I don't know.
I know. It doesn't become a priority anymore after you're like.
Yeah, not after anymore. But well, welcome everyone. If you don't know, I don't know what rock you've been living under. Obviously, my gracious co-host Kenya Sloan and myself are Mario and Luigi. This is now the reason we appointed her as Luigi, not because of Mario's sidekick. It's because
that's exactly why.
No, of course not. It's because this is the real reason, Kenya, is because Mario is the one that started this whole thing out. I mean, he's the elder of the two because he was in the original, the Donkey Kong. So
okay.
You probably didn't know that.
I did.
Yeah. He Donkey Kong and Donkey Kong Jr. and all that.
And then
that's what it all
Luigi
started.
came.
Then Luigi came after. I don't know. I stopped playing. I used to play Donkey Kong all the time when it first came out. I was a gamer back in the day. I loved it. I loved Donkey Kong. Yeah. So Mario was the guy, and then Luigi came later. So this is 100% an age thing because when it comes to Mario, that's old school.
Okay, I also feel like you just have to be like you have the hair. You just have to be Mario. It makes sense.
I look like Mario. It's
you
weird.
look like Mario.
I've never noticed with Mario that his mustache was like this, like it goes up.
Yeah.
Almost like those handlebar ones.
Yes.
Yeah, it's almost like it's kind of weird, but I looked at all the pictures. I make sure I got it right.
You got the right mustache for sure.
Yeah, we got it. We're good. So I got she get a hat, get a little overalls. We're ready to roll.
We're ready.
This was Kenya's idea. I didn't know. I'm not very creative when it comes to stuff. She said Mario and Luigi. What was the other one? The other one was the Grease couple.
Danny and Sandy. Is that her name?
Yeah.
That would have been a lot to find a black leather jacket and all of that stuff. And this is more fun.
Yeah, this is good. Plus, now we can relate with relate with the gamer crowd.
That's true too.
It might sound weird, ladies and gentlemen, tonight because this mustache is like literally like
I know it's so annoying.
This thing is not moving.
I can't smile, so if I'm like mugging the camera, it's because my mustache hurts.
Yeah, and if the next time they see me, I don't have the scruff. I might because you might have yanked
off
my mustache, and then I have to shave the rest off. I might have to have it. Anyway, what's going on in Sloan's world?
I'm in Tennessee right now, so I got to come home, visit my family a little bit. I was in Campbellsville yesterday. That's my alma mater. So did some Halloween shenanigans with my old college teammates and went to a wrestling practice and hung out for a little bit. And yeah, took my sister trick-or-treating. I had to ditch her early so I could come and hang out.
Wrestling.
Yeah.
Love it. That's awesome. Yeah, we had some good guests popping in today. I can't wait to talk to them. Here, I'm going to take this right glove off so I can actually scroll through my
That's fair.
But and I got some notes going on here because we had some things going on last weekend. But you're in Tennessee. I actually just got back. I was in Iowa last weekend.
You were in Iowa. You got back today?
I was in Iowa. Yeah, I was in Iowa and was there for the tournament. It was a great tournament. Fantastic. It was I don't know how much you know about the Preseason Nationals, but it's obviously, it seems like to me like when like one organization puts up a really good product, let's just say it. I mean, there's like a tournament. Seems like other organizations have to go and go after, and try to one up them, type of thing. So, I mean, obviously when the Super 32 came on, it was big preseason tournament. I'm not saying this is the reason, whatever, for USA Wrestling, but I'm a USA Wrestling guy, obviously, but they've been to preseason nationals a little while ago, and it wasn't nearly as competitive. But now it's got very competitive. It's gotten very competitive. Yeah, it's gotten to the point where, I mean, last weekend it was. I mean, all of them sold out. All the different divisions sold out, and it's become. I was actually talking to Doug Badon for a while last weekend, and we actually coached, in the corner a couple times, through.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And with the Dadiomoff kids, and yeah, he was talking to me how from a women's perspective, it's getting significantly tougher, and also one of those things where it's it's become one of the premier tournaments on the girls' side. So which is a good thing. We had some girls that performed pretty well, and we're gonna obviously have them on tonight and get them going. But yeah, so I actually just got back in town today. So yeah, I actually travels are good, thank goodness, because allowed me time to go get a Mario costume.
Yeah, I'm good. We had our priorities set today.
Yeah, for sure. But I know right now, I mean, just to throw it out there, I mean, the high school seasons are starting now. I think they started this week with practice, and everybody, is kind of getting in the swing of things. So this is obviously going to be the last preseason, type of stuff that we review and so forth moving forward. So so I'm looking forward to getting into the season this year, and highlight and feature, and because not only does the the high school season start, but obviously also the kids' seasons are starting. Middle schools have been in full swing for a lot of areas here recently. So yeah, it's been good. So I think we got a lot of good things coming up on the horizon.
Good. Yeah, I'm excited to be able to actually head into high school season. We'll see. It'll be different. Instead of like having our few Tennessee athletes go kick butt, we'll get to see like compare Tennessee athletes against Tennessee athletes. So.
Oh yeah, for sure. Good. So so you're in Tennessee. What brought you back to Tennessee, and what's the deal with that?
Well, actually, because I mentioned I messed up my knee a little bit, and I just have a surgeon that I trust here. I don't know anyone in Colorado, even though I had some people recommended. So I wanted to come in for that reason, but I decided to just go ahead and stay for a week. So I hadn't been home since, I don't know, last April, maybe. So I mean, it's been a while since I've just been home. So I decided to just go ahead, and I was gonna come see my surgeon, and then just hang out for a little bit with my family while I had some downtime. So
yeah,
I don't know how many. I think I'm gonna try and pop into a classic Junior Hernandez garage practice this week. I will be around wrestling while I'm home.
There you go. Yeah, for sure. That's always good. It's, like I said, I'm fortunate enough. Like I said, I was in Iowa last weekend, and and it was awesome. I could see my family, and yeah, it's good stuff. So yeah. Yep. So can't complain at all. I am. Hold on here. I'm popping in here and getting some results. Sorry, people. I probably should be a little bit more prepared. But, anyway, so we are gonna get going here and get things going, and let's do it. How's that?
That sounds good. We're starting with the guy side today.
Yeah, we basically we're just reviewing a little bit with the last weekend's preseason nationals in it was in Des Moines, Iowa. Like I said, we had some really good, we got Junior said we got a little garage shot out there, so it was cool. But yeah, I mean, I think they performed really, really well. I might let you go into the girls' results here first, and then we can I think what would probably be a good idea is maybe get both sets of results on here, and then we'll let our guests come in and kind of talk a little bit and get things going. So, on the girls' side, what happened on the girls' side? Ladies first, always. We do.
Ladies first. We had 6 athletes on the girl side show up at the tournament. And I could tell it's hard for me to judge the competitiveness of these tournaments, but the fact that you were saying that it's growing and becoming one of the most difficult tournaments on the girl side, I mean, I was kind of hoping, but also guessing that just from looking at the results. I didn't get to watch any of the matches, but of the 6 girls that we that went. We had one female place in the high school division and then one place in the middle school division. So we'll get to have both of those young ladies on today. But the ladies that we went at 125 that we sent at 125 were Ava Johnson and Maddie Jones. At 140, we took Audrey Levendusky, who took 4th place. She had a bye first round to 142 and then won the rest of the bracket with pins. She had 4 pins in the rest of the tournament. So that's awesome. And then at 140, we had Joe Klowski. And at 155, we had Deanna Nicolo, who didn't place, but was still able to pull out a few wins in the bracket. And then 155, Janiyah Johnson, who also did well in the bracket, but she lost in the blood rounds. So, I mean, I can tell that just by looking at the results that it had to have been a super tough tournament. I mean, we had some girls placing, which we didn't send as many girls, but we had girls, I mean, even some of these same girls placing a little higher in Super 32. So I know that it was really tough competition, and I'm excited to have our placers on for middle school. It was Easton. How do we pronounce her last name? Dadiomoff?
Dadiomoff. Yep, Dadiomoff.
Yeah. Easton wrestled at 87 pounds, and she took 3rd place. So we'll get to have her on a little bit later as well.
She wrestled really well. Yeah, she did a great job. So
yeah, and you got to be in her corner, so you'll get to it'll be fun for you guys to talk about how the matches went and stuff. When we have
you know, it was like I said, it was nice because I don't get to see the kids in competition be in a supplemental wrestling club, you know, like we are at Young Guns. Sure. And so I don't really get to see them as much as I would, you know, compete as much as I would like, you know, I mean, and the thing is, like I said before, I mean, the way my club works, you know, I mean, I like their high school coaches and their club coaches to act as that main coach of theirs. And, you know, so being able to get in the corner and kind of see some areas that I think I could really help them out with the next time that they come around, and just being in the corner with them it's a great thing, that's for sure. So
yeah, and there's like such a different aspect you get to help coach them in too, versus in the practice room. There's this emotional aspect, there's anxiety, there's feelings, there's what do I think about before my match, what do I think about, you know, in my 30-second break during my match, and all those things are like areas that need to be coached as well, in my opinion, on top of just, you know, technique and conditioning. So it's cool you got to have that moment with her too.
Yeah, no, it was good. So like I said, it was great, and she wrestled really well. I mean,
yeah,
you know, it was I mean, she's tough. You're gonna enjoy talking to her. She's pretty.
I think the first time I was co-hosting with you, we were torn between 2 athletes, and I really wanted to have Easton on. And I don't remember why or who even won over in our decision, but you were like, "Don't worry, there's going to be plenty of opportunities." So, and you're right.
Yeah, for sure. Well, like I said, you know, I mean, I think I've tried to be a pretty good judge of talent, and I know for sure that she's, you know, she's definitely, you know, she's definitely a future talent. That's going to be, you know, most certainly be one to be messing with. I mean, she's going to be doggone good. She's only been wrestling. I mean, we'll get into it when we talk to her here in a second. So
yeah, sounds good.
That'd be great. But on the guys' side, you know, we did really well. In the elementary division. We had Cash Harrison, who is Derek Harrison's son from the Wave Wrestling Club. We had Derek on there for the very first podcast. You met him. But he was he was 6th at the 1st and 2nd grade boys, 70 pounds. So he wrestled really good. And Cash has had a great season this year. I mean, he was state champion in the AU. He was double All-American at Freestyle Greco Nationals in this past spring, or the past summer, I should say. And then this preseason nationals, you know, he got 6th place, and he just continues to get better. I mean, I know he's only first. That's
what I was about to say.
First 2nd grade division, but I tell you what, that little guy is gonna be. He is gonna be a handful. That's for sure moving forward.
Yeah. How old is that? 5?
What is that? That would be 6-ish. I'm not sure.
Yeah, that's cool to have so much experience outside of the state at that age.
Oh, it's crazy. I mean, he just, you know, but he's, like I said, he's going to continue to get better. No question about it. And we're going to hear plenty of him. So we didn't need to have him on the podcast. That's for sure.
Yeah.
We didn't need him on there.
In a few years, he'll be on.
Yeah. So, at 165 in the 7th and 8th grade middle school division, Buddy Pulley, who's one of my Young Guns kids, he got 8th. Wrestled really well. Actually, it's crazy. I mean, like the level of wrestling at middle school level. Because I mean, if you saw Buddy Pulley, you'd look at him like, wow, that kid's in 8th grade. Oh my goodness, you'd think he's a junior in high school. But he's really mature looking, and to see him wrestle and go up against some of the kids that he did last weekend, it's like, wow. I mean, it's impressive. Yeah, it's impressive. It's definitely impressive at this age, kind of what kids have going on, and kind of where they are. But he actually lost first round to the kid that he wrestled back in the 8th grade, 7th and 8th grade, the 8th place match. This kid was from Matt McDonough's club there in Iowa, which pretty well trained kid, but lost 2 really close. I mean, really really close matches to him. Lost 4-3 first round, and then was up. Golly, I want to say 5-0, 6-1, 6-0 in the 7th and 8th grade, 7th and 8th match, and ended up losing in sudden victory. So he wrestled back hard all the way through. I think he just needs to fix a couple areas and be a little bit more consistent in some. And I think he'll really kind of blossom there. But he's got a ton of potential. It'll be a 165 pound, 8th grader like he is, and can move the way he can. I mean, he's going to be a lot. He's going to be a handful. That's for sure. So, yep, no question. At 132 in the 11th and 12th grade, 11th and 12th division, Jarvis Little, who you've heard plenty about at this point. He wrestled really, really well. Got beat I want to say it's the quarters. Yeah, he got beaten it would have been the quarters. I knew it was like in the later championship rounds. Got beat by a really, really good kid, Fargo All-American from Nebraska, in a really good match. I mean, it was a great match. Obviously, we didn't come on, on the end we wanted to, but he wrestled really, really, really well, and came back and ended up third. Wrestled the Clemente kid from Brother Martin down in Louisiana, really tough kid. He actually beat him, I want to say, in the second round. They matched up pretty early in the championship side, and then they ended up matching him for 3rd place. And that's one of the ones right there, that division right there for the 11th and 12th grade. Mm-hmm. They have 2 separate deals. They have a showcase, which is supposed to be like one where you have to have certain qualifications for the tournament. So you got to be state place winner. You've got to have some credentials to get in that one. Where the 11th and 12th and the 9th and 10th grade division, it's just an open. But in some of these weight classes, like Jarvis's, I'm looking at right now, I honestly didn't know how big it was, just because he was wrestling all day long. I'm looking at it right now. There's got to be 75 to 100 kids in here. It's
oh wow, really?
Huge. Yeah, it's a huge bracket. So, the showcase is supposed to be the tougher one for it, and man, I don't know. I'm not sure if that was the case, because of the here, let me
the size of the bracket. I mean,
the size of the bracket.
Mm-hmm. So, even if it's more concentrated with good kids, I mean, you start having to wrestle more matches is always going to make it a more difficult tournament, even if each match looks a little different.
For sure. Yeah. So, but yeah, no, Jarvis did really well. He obviously continues to get better every tournament he wrestles in. He didn't do as well in the Super 32s as what he would like to do. And I think that this was that was a weekend before.
Right.
And so I think he came back to this tournament with a little bit of vengeance, and just to prove that he's at that high national level. And he wrestled really well. Very proud of him. So, awesome. And then Braden Leach, also another Summit kid, Spartan Wrestling Club, Young Guns kid. He did a great job too, as well. He was 7th at 150 in the 11th and 12th division. And again, I'm just looking at this bracket, and it's just, my goodness. I mean, there's a ton of kids in there, and not just like a lot of kids. It's like there was a lot of really good kids at this bracket, in this bracket, in this 11th and 12th. The showcase was very, very competitive too. So this tournament just keeps getting tougher and tougher, as it goes. I know Braden he made it all the way to I want to say the quarters. I'm just looking at this thing, and actually I didn't even get the quarters. Then had to wrestle all the way back through. And when you get a bracket this size, it's just, if you lose sometime in Here, hold on here. I'm trying to get our guest set up here. You lose sometime. You lose, early before like the semis.
Right.
You've probably seen these brackets. I mean, it's just monster brackets.
It's
And goodness, it's you're wrestling back forever, it seems like. So I'm really proud of him though. And again, this is the one he was on our very first podcast, or second one after Best of the Best. And he keeps getting better, and he just needs all those really good national level wins. And I'm telling you, he's getting them. He's getting better every week, and it's really exciting to see him.
That's awesome.
What he's got going on. So the next one we had there was Saravino, Paul Saravino. He's a heavyweight from Summit as well. He had a great tournament as well. Ended up getting fifth. Wrestled really, really well. I mean, he's one that's just coming into his own a little bit, I think, too, as well. Like I said, he's Summit Spartan Wrestling Club, comes up to our Young Guns practices every now and then when I can get him a big guy to roll with, and just a really, really great kid. I mean, but he's really coming into his own. I mean, he really is. And I tell you what, last weekend, I mean, he really impressed me. He really did. And I'm telling you, just that heavyweight division, he's this year in this upcoming high school season, I'm telling you what, that guy's he's gonna do some stuff. There ain't no question. Yeah. I'm excited to see him compete. That's all I can say. I mean, I'm not gonna make any predictions. I'm not gonna do it.
Yeah, you said
you know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna make any predictions, but I'm just saying that kid's he's gonna make some noise this year without question. I'm just telling you.
Yeah. So, it'll be fun to watch once we start getting deep into the actual high school season.
Yeah. And then, all these kids that are doing this off-season stuff that we're going through here, and it's all that off-season training that it's really going to help them catapult them and get them ready to go for the season. So really excited about it. Another one, my boy Drake Bowers. I got to give a shout out to this guy. This is one of Derek's kids, Wave Wrestling Club, Christian Brothers kids, state champ from last year. 11th to 12th grade boys division. He was at 165. He was 8th. So this Drake Bowers has been going to, national tournament after national tournament and hasn't quite gotten, in there to place. And I'm telling you what, I couldn't be prouder of this kid getting in there and placing at this. And I'm looking at his bracket again. It's a huge bracket. A lot of kids, a lot of really good Midwest kids, a lot of good just kids in general. And Drake came all the way back through and got 8th. And in a very, his 7th place match was obviously would have been great to, be on the winning end of it, but it was a really, really very competitive match. It was a great match. But really proud of Drake. And I'm telling you, he's just getting better every time I see him. So like I said, really happy that all this hard work's paying off. So,
yeah. What accomplishment to make it to that match in a bracket that big in the first place. So
absolutely. Yeah, he's doing good. He's doing really good. Then Landon DeSalle, we had him on last week. Do you remember? Mm-hmm. He unfortunately, he came in and like I said, we said last week when during the when his announcement, that he he tore his ACL last year, in the fall and wrestled with it all the way through the high school season. Yeah, he actually entered the showcase. He entered the showcase. The other guys entered the open tournament. He entered the showcase at 144 and beat 2 really good kids. This is his first tournament back from ACL surgery.
I see.
Yeah, very first one. So it wasn't. He just had the surgery in, I want to say March, April.
Yeah, no, that's not a lot of turnaround.
As you all know,
unfortunately,
it's difficult, to come back that quick. And then now he's wrestling that really like national caliber kids. The 2 kids he beat first 2 rounds were really, really good kids. Then he had another hammer and he kind of tweaked it a little bit. But his knee's fine. Trainer said everything's cool. And so moving forward, but it was a little bit with his hamstring. So he the medical forfeited the way out. So, but super proud of him for getting in there and really getting after it and competing, at a high level on, an ACL that just got done in April. So, and like I said, from a rehab standpoint, it's pretty quick. It's pretty quick.
It is, yeah. And it shows so much a lot of courage to get back on the mat, but also maturity to know, hey, I think this is a good time to maybe to step away and just let my body continue to heal, better than just continuing to wrestle and hurt yourself. And then there goes your season. So it's a hard decision to make, but it's oftentimes the right decision to make.
Right. Yeah, of course. And that's, Yeah, I mean, he's got, bigger and better things coming forward. I mean, obviously he's not looking to be a, preseason nationals champion.
Yeah.
He's looking for better things. So win another state title this year and moving forward and getting some big things going on. So like I said, proud of those guys. Like I said, we Tennessee, we had a great tournament. We had a great tournament. We had a pretty decent showing. I mean, as far as numbers wise, I don't know the exact numbers. It's difficult to figure it all out on the track system because they allow you to put your club in there, so it's easier. Like Super 30 is usually very easy. You put Tennessee, boom, it's done. Whereas here, we got kids from 20 different clubs, so it's if I left anybody out, I apologize. But this is the ones that kind of came, off the top. I mean, not only off the top of my head, but had some other coaches that kind of helped out too, as far as like who we had there. So the one person that we didn't bring in yet, or that I didn't bring up yet, is actually going to be our guest for this.
He's like, wait a second.
Our highest placer of this tournament. Well, actually, him and Jarvis was too. But I'm going to let him in right now, and then we'll brag about him when he comes in here. So
there he is, Coach.
What's up, Jay?
What's up, guys?
Everybody, here we are. Tennessee Wrestling Academy, D'Angelo / Moisey trained.
Oh yeah,
Jay Eversole. How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you doing tonight?
Good. I know I look a little different, probably, huh? I normally rock this mustache, but I don't know. I'm kind of getting used to it now.
I think it looks good.
Yeah,
with the flow.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think this was Kenya's idea. This is Kenya Sloan, my co-host.
Nice to meet you. How are you?
Yeah,
nice
right here. Actually, you get both these Tennessee athletes here.
There we go.
Yeah. So
the best part of the state.
Good stuff. Well, Jay, thanks a lot for joining us, man. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, we're excited.
We really appreciate you, popping in here and just to give everybody a little introduction here as far as Jay's wrestles for Lakeway Christian, Tennessee Wrestling Academy. Like I said, wrestles for Tony D'Angelo and Zeke Moisey out there out east. 3-time Tennessee State place winner. Last year's Johnny Drennan champ, and also knockout Christmas Classic placer. And one of our lead athletes that we have in this state. And last weekend at the boys showcase, USA Wrestling Preseason National Showcase at the 175-pound bracket, Jay finished third. Which is a huge accomplishment considering, like I said before, I mean, you can't get in that tournament unless you're a state place winner, or higher. I mean, so it's one that you actually have to be pre-qualified for, and So just hats off to you, man. How do you think you wrestled?
I wrestled great, very confident, happy with how I did.
Yeah. What was the mindset going in?
Just confident, knowing that I've done more than the other guys in. Knowing that I've done more, been to practices, scheduled more, just know that I'm prepared and ready. Yeah. Took time off and just excited to be back.
Yeah, that's right. I think because you took a little time off because you got injured last year. Did you get injured at the state tournament or
at Dual State? Yeah, Dual State was the first time it got hurt.
Yeah. Explain kind of what happened. Kind of give us a recap from last year with all that, and then just kind of what.
So I was probably wrestling the best I've ever wrestled going into postseason matches, dual regions, Dual State, and just unfortunate what happened at Dual State. I think the semifinals, shoulder dislocates, end up tearing my labrum, which really you can't do much about it at that point. I mean, through a few weeks left, just kind of powered through a brace on.
Yeah,
knew I was getting surgery. But definitely last season, I definitely took a few steps up and put my name out there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so because this was really your first. So this was this your first tournament period? Back?
So I went to a Super 32 early entry in late September. I won that at 175.
All right.
Yeah.
Here, I'm gonna put my glove back on, Jay. Now I've got done scrolling everything. I want to make sure I got this. There we go. What do you think of that?
Looks nice.
It's funny. I tried to get into my phone to hit my notes, and I couldn't because the facial ID wouldn't let me in.
Oh, that's so funny. That's funny.
So I had to bust out the old password. So
you had to think about it. You're like, oh, what is my password?
I know. So yeah. So what do you got going now? I mean, now you, like I said, you check this off your list in the preseason. You had a great performance. what moving forward, getting ready for the high school season, and I'm going to get back to you. I'm going to get back to your performance from last weekend. I want to kind of get your evaluation on some matches and stuff like that, but I'm just kind of curious on what's going on in your world right now, getting ready for the season.
Yeah, just practices, multiple, like, definitely. I'll wrestle practice, but also I wrestle mostly with Cade Moisey, Zeke Moisey's little brother. Wrestle with Hunter Fortner. Wrestle with him a lot. Oh,
you gonna wrestle with my boy Fortner?
Oh yeah.
You can't hang with him now, man. You're gonna get hurt doing that, Jay.
He's my size now.
What?
He's my size now.
Oh.
I wrestle with Zeke too. Zeke's a little. I wrestle Zeke a lot. Actually, last week.
You already say Zeke was a little small for you, didn't you?
Yeah.
Last
week before I left.
Boy. Wonder if Zeke's
he's a little small.
Yeah. Fortner's not though.
No.
Yeah. Fortner put it on you, won't he?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I love Fortner, man. He's awesome. Your whole staff out there, man. Tony and Zeke and Fortner, man. I tell you what, those guys they do such a great job, also. So it's so you're in a really good situation there.
Yeah, we're very proud of them and thankful for what they do.
Absolutely, and yeah, they're really, really good people. So, last weekend, pulling up your bracket here real quick. Where are we at here? There we are. Mays Wrestling Club, first round, Jaden Ford got the best of him. And, you actually took got the best of him 9-2. But then let's get into the semifinals match. Hudson Rogers from Idaho gave him probably his best run for the money right there.
Yeah, for sure.
Time to take us through that match a little bit and kind of what went down there.
Yeah, I just wasn't finding my attacks. I mean, I was moving them. I was winning the hand fights. Just couldn't get to my shots. Couldn't get to my attacks. He gets to get escaped, and that's really what happens. Low scoring match. I couldn't get out on bottom, which is kind of good to know. I mean, we come to this tournament realizing, not knowing what I need to get better, coming back knowing what I need to get better at.
Yeah, for sure. That's that's the beauty of these tournaments.
Yeah,
going, as you all know, Kenya. I mean, wrestling at the national level, kids have got to go. A lot of kids are scared to go. And, I mean, it's intimidating at times, but you never learn anything about yourself as a wrestler until you're you're finding people that are getting the best of you, and you're figuring out what areas you need to work on when you get back.
Like preseason, I feel like that's the purpose of preseason tournaments. I mean, it's still cool to win them, and maybe you'll get to have a conversation on a podcast like this. But I mean, really, the purpose of it is to kind of prepare you and show you what you need to work on against some of the better kids in the country. So
for sure,
it's all how you had that mindset about it.
And plus, you get that the coaching staff you got. I mean, that's a great group of people right there to help fix those areas you need fixed. So
for sure,
that's awesome. Absolutely. So then third place, all the way back third place, you had the first round kid again. So two with this kid, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what were you thinking? Now the second match, it's hard. Obviously, it's difficult to beat kid twice in one day. I mean, and we saw that Jarvis Little had the same thing. Wrestled Brother Martin really early in the tournament, came back and had to wrestle up the third because they're going to make adjustments. So how do you get yourself ready to make it happen against him for a second time?
Just keep on opening him up. I mean, he knows my feet are faster. I'm moving my feet. I'm winning the hand fight. He's making adjustments to that, maybe slowing me down, trying to slow the pace down, get through the first period with zeros on the board. I get that. I mean, that's just a mindset and an adjustment everyone's going to make. When I'm throwing points up first period, trying to get on the board, they're just trying to slow me down. So I just keep my pace up, keep my I think that match was really best for my conditioning, show that my conditioning's better than these other guys, showing that how I used to be a smaller guy coming up, I can move my feet, keep going, like right on top, get on the bottom.
Yeah, no, that's good stuff right there.
Yeah,
that's a great way to look at it. Great way to look at it. Well, I'll tell you what, we're going to wrap up your part of it right here. I wanted to know, like I said, you've been like I said, a mainstay with doing well, on national level, state level. Been one of our, really, elite kids in Tennessee. What kind of words of advice do you have moving forward here for the younger wrestlers?
Yeah, don't worry about competing every weekend. You see a lot of these younger guys, elementary, middle school guys, like their parents are pushing them to go to the tournament every weekend. Don't worry about that. Show up to practice, not because you're forced to, because you want to and excited to get better. for sure. And just be confident and excited to wrestle. Like, and if you're doing more than what the other guys are doing, and know you are, you're gonna be confident. I mean, I go in, like, for me at least, I know I'm doing more than these other guys or the other guys in the state, other guys in the country. So it just makes me confident.
Yeah, no, that's great. That's great
awesome.
advice.
That's really good advice.
Yeah,
great advice. I think Kenny had some Halloween.
Oh man, I thought you were gonna forget. I was gonna have to interrupt. Yeah.
No, I'm leading you in. Shoot.
Okay.
Kenny, I'm throwing a little curveball at you, Jay. I said I gave you my talking points, but Kenya, she's a little sneaky, so I don't know what she's gonna come. You never know. I don't know what she's coming at you with right now.
We get to have more fun questions. Mike gets to ask the serious questions. I get to be but we're trying to.
I'm such a serious person.
Yeah, with that mustache. We're trying to stick with our little Halloween celebration that we're having, since I'm assuming you would be trick-or-treating if you weren't here with us. So I'm just gonna have 2 Halloween questions. So the first one, Mike, you have to answer too. So would you rather question. So you have to pick what you would prefer. Would you rather be able to fly like a bat or fly on a witch's broom?
On the broom.
Oh,
On the broom.
yeah.
Okay, Mike.
Me?
Yeah.
Ooh, that's a tough one. I think I would think the broom would be maybe a little bit more aerodynamic, with the.
I would think the broom too.
Yeah.
I think it would be nice to be able to carry around.
Broom. Well, but the thing is, I used to play baseball, so I don't know. I've had enough bats in my time. Yeah, why not? I try the broom. I have a cleaning lady, so I don't use the broom.
You'd have to take her broom.
Let's try a broom first time. Yeah, I'll try a broom. I've
we'll
never
try
really
that.
operated one of those before, so I'll try the broom.
Okay, my next question is: would you rather eat candy every day for breakfast, or never be able to eat candy again?
For breakfast, I mean, eating candy once a day.
So you're feeling good for breakfast. That's funny. I mean, that would get difficult once it comes wrestling season. You have to wait till you still have to eat candy for breakfast. That would be rough. Okay, what about you, Hatch?
I don't really worry about the weight cut.
I actually eat some sort of sweet every day for the most part.
He's like, I already do.
I do. Yeah, I'm on I've been on this really weird. I guess I don't call it diet anymore. It's more like an eating lifestyle for me. But I eat pretty low carb until about 6 at night. That I eat whatever I want. I've been doing it for about 15 years. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, hey, it's doing you well.
Whatever. It gives me grow this really nice mustache, so it allows me to do that.
Fueled by candy.
Yeah. How about you, Kenya? What do you go
there? I think I actually have to be lame and say never be able to eat candy again. But because breakfast is really important to me. Truly, a bad breakfast ruins my day. Like, I crash off sugar super hard. And also, there's plenty other sweets I feel like I could have other than candy. Like, I could have ice cream, right? That's like not candy, but I can still have it. So that would be my choice. I would not eat candy ever again.
I'd have them all. I've got a serious.
Mike's like, I'll have my candy for breakfast.
I get a little bad.
Have my ice cream.
All right. Well, Jay, anything else for us?
No. Just thank you guys for having me on.
Of course, man. You did awesome, man. Love having you on, and I'm sure you're gonna have a great season this year. So you never know. We're probably gonna have you on again at some point in time. So that'll
be great.
Get ready.
Hopefully, we won't look like this next time.
Well, I can guarantee
y'all look amazing.
This is Marlo and Luigi are one of like the iconic duos of all time. So
for sure, yeah.
This is a great idea from Kenya. So. All right, Jay, we appreciate you, buddy.
All right, have a good one.
Bye. Yeah, he's a great kid. I tell you what, he's doing well, man. He's getting it. Yeah, so he's doing good. He's, like I said, he's in a good situation up there. That coaching staff they have at Tennessee Wrestling Academy out east. I'm telling you what, they're
what city is that in? Do you? I should have asked.
I think there are a couple different locations out there to east.
Okay.
So I know one close to Knoxville and then one out a little bit further even. So Tony and Zeke and Fortner, they do a great job out there for sure. So Fortner used to wrestle for me for a year at ETC. Yeah, I coached there for a year. He was there a lot longer than the 1 year, but I was there for a year while he was there. So I love that kid. It's awesome. So all right, we're just gonna keep cranking. We already did the results.
Yeah, we did.
We got our stuff out of the way. People they didn't got to hear from us, anymore. Just kind of rambling about results. So we're gonna get these guests going. We're gonna pop the next one in the studio. We're gonna pop the next ones after that. And here we go. The next one. No stranger to this girl, but of course she's never seen me in anything except for She's never seen me in anything except for sweatpants. Hey!
Oh, no,
You guys look great.
What's up, Easton?
I'm sorry, this is our first meeting.
Oh no, it's fine. I love it.
Cool.
Easton, I know. I obviously know this girl pretty well. But this is my co-host Kenya. She was national champ at Cumberland NAIA, and she's a pretty awesome co-host and pretty awesome. And she's been excited to meet you since we chatted.
I have been excited.
I've been really excited too.
Good. I don't know if you were logged on when we first started rolling earlier, but like I wanted to have you on so early in the season. I'm like, it would be so cool to have a middle school on who's already kicking butt. So I'm happy we finally get to have you on.
Yeah, me too.
Well, this is where I put my glove back on because I don't my part's over with now. I just listen.
He's gotta let everybody know that his costume is authentic. He's gonna be like, oh.
Yeah, I know now. But Easton's awesome. Before Kenya goes in, I'll tell you what, her and her little brother and just their whole family, just amazing people. And so she comes to my Young Guns Club probably at least about twice a week normally, right?
Yeah, I think twice or 3 times a week. Yeah.
Yep. So she wrestles for Mayhem Wrestling Club up in Clarksville as well. Coach Doug Badon. So he does a fantastic job up there with this girls program. And we're excited to have her on. So Kenya, take it away.
Yeah, super pumped.
Go for her.
Yeah,
she's pretty mature now too. So
I see it already.
So you probably throw better questions at her than you would throw at me.
She started off her like intro by saying that we looked nice, and I was like, wow, she sounds like an adult already. But yes, to everyone who doesn't know, this is Miss Easton. She's in 8th grade. She is homeschooled, so you don't wrestle for a school, but you wrestle for your clubs under Coach Doug Badon and then Jason Pennington in Clarksville. And then, of course, you get some extra help with Coach Hatcher over here in Nashville when you can. You've not been in Tennessee for too long, right? And you started wrestling along with your brothers or just the one brother?
Just the one brother, but my other brothers wrestle too sometimes.
Okay, sometimes. That's super fun. So we're having Easton on today because she absolutely kicked butt at Preseason Nationals.
I have to throw one thing in about her wrestling. Easton, tell Kenya how long you've been wrestling.
I've been wrestling for 2 years.
Yeah, 2 years. That's it. Awesome.
So,
yeah. I mean, it's crazy. Like if you see this girl wrestler, I'm like, the first time I saw her wrestle, she was that was about not quite a year ago, and I was like, she's been wrestling for how long? You got to be kidding me. I'm talking to her like she's wrestling. I'm trying to instruct her like she's literally been wrestling for like 5-6 years.
Yeah.
I figured she grew up in it, whatever. And I was like, no, she's been wrestling for a little over a year. I'm like, my goodness, awesome. It's crazy. Yeah. Crazy.
So what do you think? It just came natural to you? Like as soon like you went to your first wrestling practice and you just started picking stuff up like nothing?
Yeah, I just like the second I started doing it, I just like enjoyed it so much. So I was like so willing to learn. I just like, I don't know, it came naturally. I just loved it.
Yeah, that's awesome. So who was your first coach when you first started getting on the mat? Was it Coach Badon? And
it was Coach Jason. I started wrestling with his club, his middle school team. So yeah, they were my first, and then Coach Badon was my second.
Yeah, that's awesome. It sounds like you like just enjoy learning is kind of what you're making it sound like. So I think any person who like walks into a wrestling room excited to learn is already like going to be ahead of the pack. So that's super fun that you just enjoy learning. Talk to me some about this past weekend going into Preseason Nationals. Like what types of, when was your most recent competition before this past weekend?
I think it was, I was about to say Tulsa. No, it wasn't Tulsa.
War of the Roses, weren't you?
Yeah, War of the Roses. It was War of the Roses.
Because that was it. That was a recap that we did. And you were like, I want to talk to this girl who did, wrestled in the middle school.
That was
high school girls in the middle school.
Yeah. Okay. So that was about a month ago.
Yeah, it wasn't too long ago. Yeah, it was in the beginning of October.
Mm-hmm. Sure. Okay. So going into this tournament versus War of the Roses, like what kind of things were in your head and what mindset were you going into the tournament with?
At this tournament, I was really excited, and I wasn't too worried about weight, so like it wasn't like this really big deal. But at War of the Roses, I cut a weight class down to wrestle 86, so it was kind of like a different mindset. Like for War of the Roses, I was really like focused on wrestling hard and beating my record from last year, which I did only by I think one match. But both of them I came in confident.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
That's
it wasn't really a big difference.
Yeah. So not being able to like worry about your weight. I know that can be so consuming going to a tournament sometimes. So not having to worry about your weight, did it leave you any margin to think about like some technical things or some mindset things that you don't always get to focus on super hard?
I guess, yeah. I focused a lot on mental because I feel like that's my hardest thing. Like, I feel like wrestling comes easily, but like my mental game, I've been working on a lot this year. So,
Sure. Yeah. So is there anything like specific with your like mindset? Like, are you trying to go in and maybe just clear your mind with something empty, or is there something that you're like repeating to yourself in your head to help boost your confidence in your match?
so to help me with my like mental health, not mental health, but like mental preparement, I journal before my matches.
Oh,
So that helps me a lot. It kind of like writes down like my goals. So it's kind of like a list, I
Yeah.
guess. So
Do you do that before every match or like kind of before the tournament going into it?
I do it before the tournament, and then after my tournament, I go through and write about each match.
Okay. So did you have a specific goal for this tournament? Do you
This
remember?
tournament was I didn't have like really big goals. Like my goals were like kind of like just like take shots, be like good at hand fighting and stuff. It wasn't really like super specific. Just kind of like over the whole thing, just shoot a lot. Be the attacker was usually.
Yeah. No, I think that's super specific. Yeah, it's so easy to like walk into a match and just like take whatever your opponent gives to you, but to be able to like go in and purposely think like, well, I'm going to be the person to take my shots. That's definitely specific. That's awesome. Who kind of gave you that idea to journal those things?
My mom.
Your mom?
Yeah, my mom was like, I think this will help you. And ever since I started doing it, I feel like I've been like improving a lot.
Yeah,
and it's helped me a lot.
That's awesome. Was your mom an athlete?
She was a dancer and she was a track, and she did track, but she didn't like play any ball or anything like that.
Yeah. Okay, that's super cool that you've got her like super direct support that way. Your little brother, or was your brother younger or older? That wrestles with the one that wrestles with you? Younger?
He's younger.
Okay. Does he participate in some of the like fun, super intentional things like this, or is that not? Are guys not into that type of stuff?
So actually, this is like the first tournament he's like kind of journaled for. Are you talking about like journaling? Yeah, he was like the first one, like first tournament to journal, and he was like, I guess this kind of works. Like, your mom was like,
he did good. I mean, he wrestled really well this last weekend, so he did
great. He did great.
Jake made it all the way to blood round.
Yeah, he had some really hard matches.
Yeah, he
a lot more people than I did.
Yeah, I know they were huge. Well, it sounds like you might have to stick with some journaling too. Tell me a little bit more about getting to wrestle with your brother. I got to grow up wrestling with my brother too. He's a year younger than me. So we wrestled together from the time we were like 6 all the way up until high school. And it was like we would fight like dogs, but we also got to help each other so much. So like, tell me some insight on you and your brother's relationship getting to wrestle together.
So when we first started, I feel like at first we were like kind of competitive with each other, who would be like the best first. But like after we kind of like settled, I feel like we both try to like build each other up. But we always have this like one thing that we try to like compete with. It's who will get cauliflower ear first.
Oh no! Is anyone winning?
I'm sure your mom loves to hear that.
No, she hates it. And like I don't care if I get it or not get it. It's just I want to beat him to getting it.
Oh my goodness!
But mostly we're super supportive with each other, and we go to all the practices together, and
Yeah. Are you guys ever drill partners?
No, he's like 20 pounds lighter than me. Every once in a while, I'll wrestle like live with him just to mess with him, but usually we aren't drill partners.
Yeah, that's fun. Well, let me see. Let us see your ears for the camera. Everyone.
No, I don't have it. I don't have it.
Oh, you got them good.
I don't have it.
Keep it that way.
I know.
Listen, I'm gonna give you a little advice, Easton. I know it stinks to lose in a competition to your brother, but this might be one that you can throw to him. You might be grateful later. Let him get Let him get fell apart first. Okay.
That's good advice there.
That's awesome. Well, before we hop into our fun Halloween trivia questions, I wanted to ask you, like, you're in a very specific place in that you're a young person, you're still in middle school, you haven't been wrestling for very long, but you're having a whole lot of success. So maybe share some advice that you would offer to any other girls specifically who are in middle school, or just athletes in general who are in middle school and are wanting to kick butt like you are.
I guess like I go to practices a lot because I love to learn and I love to, I guess, just learn and get experience. But like I've noticed recently that some girls, like, they're just there and they kind of look over it and tired. I think the advice to give is, if you want to do it, you have to be willing to do it. You have to be willing to be tired, willing to sweat. Like, I think you work hard. I think that's my advice.
That needs to be printed on a t-shirt. If you want to be, you've got to be willing to do it. You got to be willing to sweat. That's awesome advice.
I might steal that one. I might make some money off that one, Easton.
I know, yeah. Coach Hatcher is going to be saying that in his practices now. Like, you guys want to win, you have to be willing to sweat.
I know, I'm going to regret saying it because he's going to be like, you better be willing to sweat.
Hey, Easton, come here. What at all? No, huh?
That's awesome advice. That's awesome. And I agree with you. If we all had the same mindset where we were willing to just show up and learn and work our butts off, then who wouldn't be awesome, right? But that's what separates people who do really well and people who might not do super well. So
awesome. What we got here, Kenya?
Hello?
Yeah, you there?
I think she froze.
I see you guys.
Yeah, she goes. Yeah.
Are you there?
Yeah, it'll come on. Yeah, we're here. She has your Halloween trivia too.
I know. I was like, wait.
Yeah, where's that? How do I unfreeze her? Maybe if I pull her out of here. And maybe I had to wreck the stage. See if this happens. I don't know. Well, I don't have any trivia, Easton.
I don't have any trivia for you either.
Yeah, I think she maybe got disconnected there. She'll get back in here in a bit. But yeah, all right. Well, I tell you what, I don't have any trivia. Well, hey, there she is.
Oh,
hey, there we go.
Hey, can you guys see me?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay. I can hear you, but I can't see you. But I'll just trust that you guys can see me.
Yep, gotcha.
All right. Okay, Easton, can I throw one fun question at you before you leave?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, would you rather carve pumpkins? I'm gonna ask you too, but the first one, would you rather carve pumpkins or bob for apples?
Bob for apples.
Okay. Coach Hatcher?
100%. Yeah. Apples.
Bob for apples. Okay. I think I'd rather carve pumpkins. I just don't really like the idea of drowning in water for some apples. No. But okay. Next one. Would you rather eat all of your house?
Oh, she just left.
She just left again. All right. Maybe she I think she got disconnected this time. So we're out. But she'll get back in here. But if it's probably what I'll eat all your, we'll make everyone a question. Eat all your Halloween candy in one night, or save it all. Save it for the rest of the week.
I guess save it for the rest of the week. We don't really usually do Halloween.
Yeah.
I just it's not a thing that we do. And but if we did, I'd definitely save all the candy for throughout the week.
There you go. There she's back. Okay. All right, she's back.
Hello. Sorry, I had to switch my spot.
All right, you got it?
Yep. All right, last one. Would you rather eat all of your Halloween candy in one night, or only have one piece and then give the rest away?
Oh, I got the question wrong.
Oh, guessing the question?
Yeah, we are guessing it.
Oh, what did you guess?
I said you rather eat all the candy in one night or save it for the week.
Oh, that was pretty similar. That was pretty similar. Okay, well, now that you know the real question, which would you do? Eat it all in one night, or have only one piece and then give the rest away?
Have one piece, give the rest away.
Okay. What about you, Coach?
I would, as much as I like candy, I'm a giver. I
would be more scared of.
But then I would go buy some. I would go to the store because I know that all the Halloween candy is 75% off.
It is.
And then I'd go buy some more. That's what I would do.
Yeah, and then you don't have to get sick and throw up on Halloween from eating all your candy.
Exactly.
Awesome. All right. Thanks so much for joining us and sharing.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I had a great time.
Yeah.
Huh?
You had fun on the podcast?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, it's probably I'm gonna call it right now, Kenya. This will not be the last time that we have Easton.
I can't wait until we have her on.
Yes,
plenty of performances that she's gonna be able to recap for us. That's for sure.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Yes, super nice to meet you.
All right, Easton, we'll see you at practice.
See ya.
Yeah. We'll get to see her soon.
Yep. Yeah, man, she's a great kid. Her whole family. I remember the first time that they came to our Young Guns practice, and I mean, just incredibly hard worker to begin with. Her and her little brother, Jake. And after practice, I mean, they both come up to me, shook my hand. Thank you very much for practice, coach. And I was like, oh wow.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
Second practice. Thank you very much for practice, coach. There hasn't been a practice yet when they haven't come with me. Thank you very much for practice, coach. That was awesome.
Oh man, yeah. Mom and dad are doing something right in that.
I mean, yeah. I mean, the parents are just rock stars. I mean, the whole family rock star. Her dad actually is overseas right now. He just got deployed last week. Yeah, he's military, and so he's fighting for our country. So shout out to Joe. Really, awesome. He's a great person, and I most certainly appreciate his service. But I mean, amazing kids, and it doesn't matter how the practice goes. I mean, literally, I've seen both of them get their butts handed to them for
and then they still come up to you.
Yeah, whether Easton's wrestling a boy that weighs 20 pounds more than her, middle school kid, and Jake's wrestling Caleb Shipman, who's a little bit bigger than him, is pretty dang tough, and just getting the shot beat out of him the whole time. I mean, they still the end of practice. Thank you very much, coach. I really appreciate it. Like, wow. I wasn't that gracious in the practice. I'm like, get out of here.
I'm ready to get out of here.
Or if the practice is really hard, I'm like, this guy, oh man, I don't like this guy. I'm out. So yeah, but great kids. So yeah, but that's it right there. Yeah, hopefully you'll meet her someday in live too. She's a great kid.
Oh, I'm sure I'll get to.
All right, well, let's get this last group of guests on here. We got two guests here on the stage right now. Look at this.
Hello.
Hey.
We have a referee.
It's not the Miami Dolphins onesie that I said I might have on. I sweat that up in practice, so this is.
Oh yeah, I'm sure you were in a hurry to get it off. That sounds fun. Audrey, are you dressed as an angry bird?
Yes, I am.
Wow.
Perfect.
I flew one too, but I chose this one because it's bigger and the other one's a little tight on me.
That's okay. That looks cozy. Well, Audrey, Coach Levendusky, do you guys know Mike Hatcher? Have you guys gotten to meet?
I don't know if I've met you, Mike.
Yeah, me neither.
Especially like this.
Yeah, you might recognize him.
I'm not normally the one with this big mustache, but I'm the Tennessee State chairman. I don't believe I met you guys yet, so it's really good. This is the first right here for the show, isn't it, Kenya?
Yeah, getting to have a father-daughter duo on.
Normally, I pretty much know everybody that we bring on the podcast, and this is the first time. Awesome. That's my first introduction. Yeah, first time.
I finally
know right here.
Mike doesn't know.
Well, I tell you what, I'm going to make it a point though to come up and see you guys next time.
Well, thanks for having us on.
I need to do better. I mean, there shouldn't be anybody that ever gets in this podcast that I haven't already met, Kenya. That's my job.
Like, there shouldn't be a single wrestler.
It is my job to know everybody in this state. So that's my goal from here on out. There ain't going to be nobody on this podcast.
Okay.
Maybe we'll see. I say that now, but there's a lot of people in the state.
Sorry, I think my 7-year-old sister is trying to bust in here. I'm keeping that. Okay, well, we've got Audrey. We're having you on here because you placed the highest of all the high school girls that we sent to preseason nationals. So what an awesome accomplishment, and I'm glad we get to keep you guys on together. A few things about Miss Audrey. She's a sophomore at Montgomery Central High School. Both of them have a wrestling family, which we'll get to dive into a little bit. So this is a whole family of wrestlers, not just the two of these guys. You guys are from New York. Well, I don't know if you're from New York originally, but I know you moved.
We are. Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
So they're from New York, and we just gained them in Tennessee a few years ago. I remember the first time I saw, I think it was you, Coach, and Essie,
came to your camp with Coach Badon.
Yeah, you guys popped in at this little Tennessee, small little Tennessee camp we were having, and I was like, surely they didn't come from New York, because I wrestled in the college circuit with your oldest girl, Joy, and so I've been familiar with his family, but knew that they definitely weren't from Tennessee. So the first time they showed their faces in Tennessee, I was so confused. But it's been such an honor to have you guys in our state and bring some awesome talent. Yeah,
it's been a great experience for us.
Yeah. So, Coach, do your athletes call you Coach Levendusky?
They call me Coach D.
Coach D. Okay, I like that. I like that so much better.
Okay, I like that better.
Okay. So, Coach D, are you coaching currently in the state right now?
Yep, I'm an assistant coach at Montgomery Central, technique coach. I run a lot of the practices, help build the curriculum and boys and girls program. We have a good problem. We had over 60 come out for the team. And so the trajectory of the program it's been great, even though a lot of newbies and,
girls?
trying to catch them up.
No. There's about 20 girls, I think.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Wow, still.
Yeah.
That's a lot of kids to have in one room, no matter,
Yeah.
no matter how you look at it.
The coaching staff really hasn't grown, so it's like
The ratio of coaches to
athletes.
students to athletes is not really good.
That means you guys are doing something right though over there to have that many athletes showing up. So that's awesome. So you've also gotten to coach all three of your girls through their wrestling career. Yeah.
Mhm.
Tell us a little bit about this daddy-daughter duo that you've gotten to have multiple times. Both of you guys will have to pitch in and give me your intake and thoughts on it. So what's it like? Well, let's start with Audrey. Audrey, what's it like? Tell me both the pros and the cons of having your dad as coach.
I think one of the pros is like he's able to like be more mean to me because it's like
I would expect that.
he's able to push me harder because like he knows that I won't care, and like he just knows me better because like of like our relationship that we have. And then the con is probably that like I probably feel more comfortable like not like talking back, but like more of like resisting than I would if it was another coach.
Oh, I understand that completely. I think if my dad tells me to do something, sometimes I don't want to do it just because my dad told me to do it.
Yeah.
So I understand. Yeah. Coach D, what about from your perspective? Like, what are some of the great things about getting to coach your own kids?
Oh, I think being there for them in really big moments of their lives. I mean, if you're serious about wrestling, some of the greatest and worst moments of your life can be related to your wrestling career. And then, just being there for them, in the wins and the losses and processing that with them, especially with our faith and just turning their eyes and their hearts the right direction and using it, I think to shape their whole lives, just being there in those moments and being their number one fan, and also it's a challenge because they're all girls, but they're all different. Like my daughter, Esther, who wrestled for McKendree and Emmanuel, if she took a loss, she wanted to run right into my arms and hug me, Joy, it's like
she wants to punch you.
She wants to punch. If I come 3 feet, she's ready to throw down. And and sometimes I'm like, it's been enough time. It's been 15, 20 minutes. I'll go up. She'll be like, Dad? No.
At least she knows like what she needs.
Yeah.
That's awesome. You get to learn them in that way. Are there some things that you think might make it more challenging? The fact that you're their dad and not just some stranger who coaches them in the room?
Yeah. And in some ways too, like I realize that my coaching has a ceiling with them and like, I need to give them other coaches and sometimes I need to shut up and just not coach them in certain practices or just let them run with the program without trying to overcoach them or, helicopter dad, helicopter coach. So, this practice, both my son Reese and my daughter Audrey are in our varsity program right now. And, they're both pretty good. And a lot of the other kids need a lot more attention. So some days I don't even like address them in the room. And I tell them to address me as Coach D, not Dad, just because I don't want favoritism or special treatment. And, I'm going to push them as hard as I push everybody else. I'm going to treat them like I do everybody else.
Yeah. That's super awesome. There's got to be so many things that come up that make having your relationship so deep awesome in the wrestling room, but I could definitely see how it could make like Joy having to learn her boundaries. I'm sure it took her time to figure out like I don't need my dad to come up to me right after. So that's cool. You guys have learned those.
And even how we corner matches, like some wrestlers like to hear the coach yelling ideas and Joy, like her attitude is if I'm not ready for this match, then, you trying to give me a YOLO idea, is not going to help me. It's just going to frustrate me if you're yelling the whole time. So she prefers to more self-coach and be prepared for her matches and go in with her plan and focus on that tactically. And freestyle is nice because you get that moment between the periods where you can have that brief moment, you know, and she likes that. But as far as like being the coach that's yelling just for the sake of yelling through the whole match, not really her style. But then again, you know, with Essie and Audrey, sometimes they like those little coaching moments in the middle of matches where, you know, they're getting ideas, or I see something that might help. And, you know, so again, it's just learning how to coach each one of them. I think it's with any parent, child wrestler, and coach athlete. That's
awesome. So did you get to be in Audrey's corner this past weekend at Preseason Nationals?
Yeah, I did. Yeah. It was a great experience. You know, Audrey, she started wrestling when she was 6. So just hundreds and hundreds of matches, and, you know, at the youth level, a lot of national events, but this was her first high school individual national event. So we knew what she was capable of and just wanted her to have the opportunity. And it was just wonderful to be there with her, you know, to watch her do what she did this last weekend.
So this was your first high school national event?
Yes, sir.
Wow. So you're a freshman?
No, I'm a sophomore. I just didn't do. Well, actually, that's not true. I did Tulsa National Duels like this past June.
But from an individual perspective, though.
Yeah, for individual, yes, it is. I didn't really do much. I skipped Fargo last year because it was volleyball season, and it was like a crucial time for me to be there. So I just opted out of that. But I'll probably end up doing Fargo this year. So
that's awesome. Wow.
Yeah.
Good for you. Shoot.
So then Audrey, going into this, did it kind of feel like a debut for you, like on the high school national scene, or not much?
I mean, yeah, it was definitely, it was something I was more familiar to, like the national level, but like, so I wasn't as like scared as I would have been, like maybe if I hadn't done some of these other things that I've done in the past. But yeah, it was definitely like, it definitely felt different just because it was individual. Like it's obviously not the same as duels. Like I don't have a whole team next to me. Like it's just me. So that was definitely a lot more different, but yeah.
Yeah. Going into the tournament, was there anything like specific mindset wise or technique wise that you were focusing on or honing in before you went into it?
Well, I used to like sob after every match I would lose. So I would like I was a pretty big head case when I was younger. Like it was really
okay. Aren't we all? That's okay.
Yeah. So my goal was really like to just not care, but like not dwell on winning or losing. Like just wrestling like my match and like wrestling at my best, even if my best isn't the best. Like so like just like my mindset of after the matches, I guess.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, you kind of have to learn how to take one match at a time instead of
the
whole tournament. And I think that's a great thing to be able to practice. Like an awesome thing that you were thinking about it, even going into the tournament instead of, you know, trying to figure out during the tournament what to do after you lose a match. So that's awesome that you kind of were able to did you choose to pinpoint and focus on that yourself, or did any of your coaches kind of help you to narrow in on it?
Well, I kind of pinpointed myself just because it's something that I've been personally struggling with like for my entire wrestling career. So
yeah, that's awesome. Do you think you did a good job this past weekend at being able to get
I didn't shed a tear, so at least
okay.
Yeah, not over that, I don't think. Not over.
Good. Did you wrestle any familiar opponents at this tournament, or had everyone that you wrestled was your first time wrestling them?
I think I don't think I've ever. I think it was my first time for everybody because yeah.
Does that make it a little easier to let things roll off your shoulder? Like, does it feel fresh versus someone you have like history with on the mat?
Well, yeah, it was a different weight class too. I had seen a few people that I wrestled at Tulsa there, but they were in lower weight classes because I wrestled 126 at Tulsa, but I was 140 at like preseason nationals because put on a few pounds. So
you're also growing into an adult.
Yeah.
So this is that we expect.
Okay. Yeah. Don't we all?
Yeah. Again, don't we all? Especially after Halloween weekend. You have to go up another weight class. I'm kidding. So I think both of you had kind of mentioned, Coach D, you had mentioned, this is something I know about your family, and I know that you kind of wear 2 hats also because you serve as a pastor at the church you guys go to in Clarksville. And I know just from like knowing some of the people in your family that your faith plays a big part in your sport and your training and your competition. Audrey, could you kind of explain to me like what role your faith has like to you as a wrestler? I've also been someone who like coupled my faith with wrestling, and it allows you to see things a little differently. So would you share, like, give us a little insight on what that's like?
Yeah, it really helps me to just like not like think about myself more, like know that I'm not wrestling for my own glory and wrestling for my own accomplishments. Like it's all towards a higher purpose. Like it's not towards like my like self-praise, like or like pride or anything like that. Like it's helped me to learn to sanctify it towards like wrestling for God, and that also helps my mindset more, because it just like lowers the level of like, or the meaning of winning and the meaning of losing, like, and just higher, like raises the level of just like enjoying it and wrestling for the greater purpose.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. Does your dad play a lot of influence in that, Matt, or have you all been able to kind of like develop that on your own?
Well, yeah, I mean, I think before preseason nationals, we actually like read a few verses and like tried to use those like as also like to set our minds for like the coming tournament, to help us have a little bit more of like a God-centered mindset going into it, and just like more hone in on that aspect of it rather than like the aspect of winning and like doing it for like the glory and the like just the self-pride and stuff like that.
Sure. Yeah, I think that's an awesome attribute to carry with you throughout life and into your sport. Coach Hatcher, do you know a lot of athletes in your club who like openly talk about their faith and how it affects their wrestling? I feel like it can be kind of a rarity in our sport sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, we do. I don't, I when you deal with so many different personalities and so many different kids from so many different clubs and so many areas, I think you kind of let them. I don't think I'm in a position to, to
guide that.
Yeah, to guide that. That's not. I teach single legs and high crotches.
Yeah.
But don't even.
I'm gonna stick to what I'm good at.
Small Bible study every morning. I'm trying to, but it's still like learning French for me. So I think I've been through this, what a coach's Bible, I don't know how many times. I'm still have no idea. So, but no, I mean, we'll get some, that are very, very open about it, and others maybe they do their own and they're not quite as open about it. So yeah, but I think it's good. I think it's a good thing to know that there's something bigger out there than we are.
I think it's cool that you're
whatever your belief is. I don't judge.
Yeah.
I don't judge your way. So that's where
I think it's super cool that your guys' family get to kind of do that together, and it makes you closer. Okay, before we jump into our fun Halloween Goober questions, I wanted to ask from both of you, because you guys have very different perspectives. So Coach D, you've had, multiple athletes, but also kids in your home who have gone on to be, successful on the national level, college level, and beyond. So do you have any advice for females specifically, of any athletes in the sport who maybe want to wrestle in college or just take their sport bigger than what it is now, the way that the kids in your family have?
Yeah, I would just say just really focus on your goals. And, I think you have to ask the question, who am I? Who do I want to be? And then how do I get there? And, we have to be honest about that. Who am I right now? Well, maybe right now, you're a first or second year wrestler that loves wrestling, but you're not that good and where you can maybe hope to win a state title or win a state medal yet. Who do I want to be? Well, I want to be a state champion. I want to be an All-American. And so setting those goals, one of the proverbs from the Bible that we repeat often is, without a vision, the people dwell carelessly, so if you don't have a vision, then anywhere and anything will do, right? But a vision disciplines you. Like knowing where you're going helps discipline you and helps you make decisions, and even make hard decisions and do hard things. So knowing who you are, and then who you want to be, and then setting a plan in place to go after that. And that's where I, as a father and a parent and a coach, think that that's my job to step in, create those opportunities, open those doors, and let the girls walk through them. And I think in that process, getting the girls to believe in themselves, because like early on, it's like, oh my gosh, here in Clarksville, we have to wrestle somebody from Rossview or Cleveland. Oh my gosh. And then later on, it's like, oh my gosh, we have to wrestle somebody who has a California singlet on, or an Illinois singlet. And then, you know, at the international level, I remember going to the Clip-On Open with Joy, and Coach Clarissa Chun was talking about, don't wrestle the singlet, wrestle the body. In other words, you're going to go out there and there's going to be somebody with a Japan singlet on or a Russian singlet on. Just wrestle their body. You need to kind of ignore. So it's almost like getting through those psychological barriers, and it happens progressively over time by going to higher and higher levels. So my job as a coach is to set that up and to get them to believe in themselves that if they embrace this process, they can reach those goals. And the athlete's goal is to define, I think, those three things. Who am I? Who do I want to be? And then how do I get there? And that's where I step in, is to help them get there.
Yeah, I think that's awesome. I mean, those are such like practical, tangible steps too. I mean, things we can write down and work towards.
So I think to answer your question too, is just surrounding yourself with people who can help you answer that third question. How do I get there? Right. And maybe that means I got to get outside my high school club. Maybe they only have a vision for like wrestling locally. It's fine. But if you want to wrestle at the state level, the national level, or eventually, you know, the senior or international level, you're going to have to surround yourself with people who believe you can do that and know how to get you there. Yeah. And I think that's where I think we as leaders can step in and help create that process.
Love that. That's good stuff right there. Tell you what. Good
Does
stuff.
that resonate with
you?
That
was our coach's corner moment right there for our corner night right there. That's, you know, that's awesome.
Something else Coach Hatcher is going to steal and use in his room.
Dang right. Shoot.
You know, somewhere in a dream, I heard this company.
Listen, 30 years of coaching, 30 years of coaching. I've never been smart enough to think of my own stuff. I've stolen everything. 30 years.
Same.
That's it. It is.
Okay, Audrey, really quick from you, is there anything, I mean, you're young in high school, but you've been wrestling for a long time. What advice would you give to girls who want to have good success in the sport?
Yeah, I mean, I guess my one thing is just being like, especially in high school, don't worry about specializing like in just one sport. Like, I'm a 3-sport athlete, and in Tennessee, that's a kind of a pretty difficult thing to do. Like in New York, that was way easier, but in Tennessee, it's like everybody wants your 100% full attention, and I'm like,
year round.
Yeah, year round. It's like, honestly, just enjoy high school sports while they last, because like really it's hard to do more than one once you leave. And like, if you just focus on one, like you're going to have so many regrets leaving high school and being like, oh, I wish I played that my senior year or my junior year. And like, so right now I'm just really like trying not to like focus too much on one sport. Like I really just want to enjoy them all while I can right now. So just like, yeah, just like not specializing. I mean, not that you can't, like, that's not what I'm saying, but like just enjoying all of the experience, like the whole experience while you can.
I agree with that so much. I mean, I think it also, if nothing else, will help you to avoid burnout. I mean, you've got done thing and the same thing from the time they were 8, and by the time they should be in their prime, they're like ready to get out because they've had like no other outlet. So I think that's awesome advice.
Love it.
Okay, really quick before we wrap up, believe it or not, this podcast is supposed to last an hour. It never does. So we're gonna.
Yeah, it is what it is. We like that. You know, hey, we just gotta. If we wanted to last an hour, then we just start inviting, I don't know, less interesting guests.
Yeah, less interesting guests.
We have way too many interesting guests here. We let them like get their platform.
I agree. Both of you guys have so much to offer.
Love it.
Okay, a little fun before we leave. We'll have all 4 of us. We'll answer. Would you rather turn into a zombie or turn into a vampire? Audrey, you go first.
I'd have to say vampire's more appealing. I
think so.
Because I'd rather not look dead 24/7.
Yeah. Or smell dead.
Only crave brains. That's kind of big downer.
Oh yeah, blood sounds better. A little bit.
I mean, it's a liquid, so I'd be like.
Sure. All right, Coach D, what about you, zombie?
Well, yeah, I mean, since zombies are dead, I'd rather not be dead. I'd rather be alive and be like cognizant of my, self-aware. And like, don't vampires live a long time? Like, is that a thing?
From my understanding.
Okay, so I'm definitely taking the vampire.
Vampire, okay. Coach Hatch.
Oh, this is easy money. Vampire all day long.
Okay, good.
Vampires are. I like fashion. consider myself, I like, that's one of my interests. So
Yeah,
they're very
fashion.
fashionable. I always say vampires are very fashionable. Again, they live like forever, which is my goal in life. I love life, and I love all my friends and my family. So I want to live forever. So there we go, vampire. And then plus they're night owls, and I kind of tend to
You're
see
a night owl.
I'm kind of a night owl.
I think I'm
like
also down for the vampire, but then you have to think about, like you said, you live forever, but not everyone else lives forever. So eventually that would get kind of sad, but we might be getting too deep right now. So we'll just stick with the surface.
Probably end your career as a zombie.
There you go.
What'd you say?
Get a little bit of both.
Yeah. Okay, would you rather wake up in a coffin or wake up in the middle of a cemetery?
Middle of the cemetery. I don't do tight spaces like that. That's no.
Okay, fair.
Where is the coffin? Is it 6 feet underground, or where are we talking about here?
Ooh, okay, no, let's say not
That's an
underground.
important part of this question.
Yeah.
Let's say it's above. It's like maybe it's in like a church somewhere.
Yeah,
Like they're getting ready to do like a funeral, and you wake up and you're the person in the coffin.
I'd probably take the cemetery.
Me
Yeah.
too. Okay. Well, I might be weird. I think I would choose the coffin. Just waking up outside alone, like in the cold, or maybe it's not cold. I don't know, but I don't think I would want to wake up in the cemetery. Coffin sounds more cozy. Coach?
Yeah,
Which one?
I'd say cemetery. Yeah, I'm not much into cold. I just got back from Iowa last weekend and it drove me nuts. I don't like the outside. I'm not an outdoors person, but yeah, I'm with Audrey on that one. The close spaces, I don't know if I could do that. Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
I must be crazy. I love close, tight spaces. It just sounds cozier. Okay, we'll wrap it up there. But
Good deal.
thanks, Audrey, and thanks to the Levendusky's. Thank you guys for coming. I hope
Yeah,
we'll definitely get to.
Thanks so much for joining us. We really appreciate y'all getting on and spending time with us. And yeah, like I said, we appreciate everything y'all do for Tennessee wrestling. We're super happy to have you here.
Yeah, it's such a gift again, you guys.
Thank you. We're pumped to be here, and great to meet you, Mike. And I've heard great things about you and Young Guns, and maybe we could make our way out there sometime. See you on the mat.
Come on down. Love to. Love it. All right.
All right. Bye, guys.
Take care. Have a great night. Happy Halloween.
Thank you too.
All right. Great people, man. It's awesome having. It's great when I if I'm not mistaken, I think it was his wife reached out when they first moved here and they were asking about Fargo. I think just a couple of years ago. So it's nice to kind of like, finally, put names to the face. So.
Oh man, the Levendusky's are amazing people. I mean, before I even knew there was this whole crew of them, I just knew Joy. Like we wrestled together. We were roommates at the OTC together. I think that was the first time I met Joy. And this is their oldest girl. She wrestled at McKendree and now Southern Oregon. So we've been in the same circuit, same age for a while. And I just remember thinking, this is such a good person that I've met. And then I come to find out there's a whole bunch of them. So yeah,
we have known them for a while. Wow, that's impressive. All right. Well, shoot. Like I said, how about that? We came back, I like these first. I like these first. Shoot. I like these first, and then like to the Power Hour. We might have to rename it here eventually. So
yeah, it's funny.
Yeah, we got the viewers tonight, especially on Halloween. Sounds good.
That's awesome.
Great guests on here. It was awesome. Next week, I think there's not a whole lot from a competition standpoint. So I think we had a couple people that we kind of had as I guess aces in the hole.
Been saving them.
Yeah. Been saving them a little bit. So I think maybe next week we approach them. And I have another idea maybe for the boys' side. So we'll keep them cranking. Okay,
well, then I'll go ahead and announce now, and then we can wrap it up. But maybe what you tell me, would it be best to do it on our social media? But I think next week we're going to have another college coach on, and we wanted to be able to have, some of our viewers give us questions that you might want to have answered by a college coach.
Yes.
So I think whenever we post on our Tennessee USA Wrestling on Instagram, that's probably the best place about our podcast.
Yeah, Instagram or the Facebook.
Or
Instagram and Facebook.
Yeah. So how about we make a post and we'll prompt for some questions from everyone, and then we'll include those next time. I love it. Okay. That's a good idea. Yeah, we'll announce who's going to be on next week. Just shoot me confirmation that that's a done deal, and we'll get a couple questions going on. That'd be great. Yeah. So you guys everyone look out for it and send us your questions.
That's a great idea. See, ladies and gentlemen, that's why I get Kenya on here. Yeah,
Okay,
good
our
idea.
next homework, Junior told me, is we have to find a cool, cheesy way to end these. So we're gonna have to do that next time. But for today, it's just gonna be like a
That's it.
peace
Just
out.
it's a wrap. So
Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween, everyone. Kenya, again, thank you so much. Appreciate it.
And
And we'll see y'all next week. Thank you.
guys next week.